right. Okay, so let me hear how it started. When did you first get the symptoms, and yeah.
Okay, so it started 4 years ago. Actually, probably around this time, 4 years ago. Um, I was going through a very stressful period at the time. I was going through a divorce of my husband, and I also got an infection in a root canal in the bottom of my jaw. Um, the dentist at the time redone the root canal, and it never affected me then. And about 2 or 3 weeks later, I kept getting, pains in my neck, and I was very stressed, and I carried my stress on my shoulders. Um, and through time, as the stress sort of alleviated, the tooth had to come out. So I got the tooth out, and I kept going back to the doctors, back to the doctors, back to the doctors, and they were like, "Oh, it's stress, it's stress." And every time I went, I was like, "It's not stress." I was very fit, I was very active. Um, and I knew that something wasn't right, but I kept describing it to them as like, all sinus, jaw pain down my neck. And at the time, I was very stressed, and I do carry it all here. So this continued, and I went to dentists and oral surgeons, and obviously the dentists, because I get pain, almost like they've said it's like atypical facial pain. Basically because they don't really know, I think. It went from TMJ to atypical facial pain. I've seen a pain doctor, I've seen a neurologist, I've seen an oral surgeon, I've had procedures, probably unnecessary procedures done. And basically no one, I think they've given me medication, like all the normal amitriptyline, gabapentin, and basically they just screw you up so much. So I stopped everything. They give me injections in my head, in my neck, in my muscles. They didn't help neither. Basically, nothing they've done has helped. And yeah,
Okay.
I go to the oral surgeon, and he always says it's muscular.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I would agree. I do get a lot of sinus stuff, but if I go for like a massage or it doesn't really help me. I go to a chiropractor, it doesn't help me because I thought maybe, I was out of a line. I click a lot. So I just knocked all the medication on the head. And being quite honest with you, the next route for me to go down was I had just contacted last week a neuromuscular dentist who gave me a lovely quote. So because they keep, because of a lot of the pain is, the jaw, this neck, back of the head. I also get like popping in my sinuses. I've seen a ENT as well who said there's nothing wrong with my sinuses. And this basically all started with the stress and the tooth. The tooth's been removed 4 years ago, so that's been dealt with, and yeah.
Okay.
So.
All right, perfect. Okay, so the 5 questions I had was actually your story, and then your symptoms. So you've gotten around to that, and diagnosis. What were the diagnoses they've been throwing around? So it was TMJ and something else.
Atypical facial pain.
Okay, okay. What about your muscles? Like, would you say that your muscles are tense and
Yeah.
like painful if somebody massages you?
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
okay.
Yeah.
So have you ever tried when you go to the massage therapist that it got worse after the massage?
Um, Being quite honest with you, I can deal with a lot of like pressure, and
Yeah,
if
okay.
I miss myself, like at home, I focus on points, and I would say the next day, yeah, it's probably sore.
Yeah.
I think I tried initially a few months back to start this, and I think the first night I done massage, the next day I was in really bad pain.
Okay, okay, that's
So
great.
I knocked it in the head, and
Yeah.
then obviously I came back to it.
Yeah, that's really good because when you have that experience, it's a strong indicator that you're hitting the right spots,
Yeah.
so that your condition is in fact muscular, and that's great news because that's what we can do something about. And to be honest, I haven't even I've done this for quite a while so far, and when you have those symptoms, I've still not met anybody where it wasn't muscular.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty confident we'll be able to, I'll teach you how to help yourself.
Yeah, and I am normally very, body aware. I used to be very fit. I think from this pain started, I don't have the energy anymore to,
No,
go
no,
to
absolutely,
the gym.
absolutely.
So I'd like to get back to that place of
Yeah,
being
of
fit again.
course. Yeah, yes, absolutely. Okay, and then I have a final question about treatments, but I think you covered that pretty well as well, actually. So I'm just going to stop the video, the recorder now.